Hey everyone, Planet Mitch. I love to say my name at the beginning. Apparently I can't do it without it. I don't know, I have fun. I decided I have two clients that I'm working with, and I need to update the spreadsheet that I've been working on with their data because I'm doing it now in the spreadsheet daily because I want to be able to track more and more data, and having daily trends is very helpful. So I thought, I don't know, maybe somebody would want to watch over my shoulder to see how easy it is to enter the data, to see what I'm doing, what I'm looking at. And so I just thought, I got to do this anyway, so why not have some people come along? And if you want to comment and ask questions, then that would be terrific. If you want to just tag along, that's okay too. So if you're here, please comment if you want to say hi. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive in. So what I'm going to look at is the up viral statistics. And then I'm going to bring the data over, although I should have done the downloads before, but any of that's all right. And then we'll dive in and I'll show you how it works. Probably should have, now that I think about it, done the data uploads first, but it's all right. We'll just deal with it, right? And nobody will go in and pause the video and try to copy people's emails because that's not ethical. Hey, Shamal! Welcome, welcome. So, let's dive in. Troy, yo! Thank you for tuning in. So I'm going to share my desktop. And I'm going to go in and just for fun, put my face in the corner. Hi. Although you probably don't really care. I tend to like to feel like you guys are paying attention to me if my face is there. But I also know that's going to cover up part of the spreadsheet. So let's turn that off. If you haven't seen it, this is the Mitch with his new inside glasses, Troy says. Yeah. This is the front page of the spreadsheet that I've been using, although, well, actually the real front page is this, with the instructions for those people who come in and start using it and don't know how to use it. And the real front page that I built last week was this new forecast. And so the main two things to look at on the forecast are the chart here, and you use the green and the orange are the forecast direct leads and the forecast referred leads, and then the other two are the actuals. So you can see where you think you're going to go based on some parameters. Now this particular campaign I've obviously been running for 4 days, and now we have to add the 5th day. And down here at the bottom, so these fields that are in orange are the ones that you update, if you want to. We're bringing in an estimated 500 leads per day with a conversion rate of about 28%. We're going to look at that. I'm not going to dive into each one of these numbers, but that's getting us, theoretically, 140 leads a day and 24 referred leads. So this is direct and that's referred. That's the forecast. And then what we really want to get to is this sheet with all the updated data. It's not currently updated. This is data from yesterday. That gives me all of the stuff about leads and entries and who's sharing and how our referrals are going. The rewards, whether we're collecting on that, the social sharing, and then finally down here, how well our social referrals are converting. So there's a lot of data in here, but you'll see that it's not too hard to collect the data. This is the new page that I've been adding, working on for the daily charts. I am not happy at all with the way this looks yet, but I'm looking to add some additional charts to be able to see how things are going. One of them, for example, is this one, which is the actual social sharing, which is this first line, versus that forecast, which isn't on that very first one. Social sharing's not in here. This is actually leads. So looking at this chart, we're trying to see how are we beating our forecast for social sharing, for example. And again, my opinion is if you're not tracking your leads and your statistics and your metrics, you ain't doing jack with your campaign. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. You really, really should be looking at numbers. Now, there's this tab called Forecast and Daily Actuals. Now, there's a whole bunch of stuff on here. There's stuff that I'm calculating over here in the blue section. We don't touch anything that's not orange. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go in and we're going to fill in this data, and that's going to give us the vast majority of the information from the spreadsheet on the first pages. So, you ready to dive in? Anybody have any questions? Questions? So, there's 2 pages we're going to look at inside of UpViral. We're going to look at this particular campaign. We don't look at this page because I don't care for these charts. Maybe you do. I don't find any real value in them. What I'm looking at is this page right here. So I'm going to do a lot of flipping back and forth if you want to kind of snooze out during this section. This is the boring part. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some numbers off of this page, primarily down here in this section, and we're going to fill in the row for the spreadsheet over here. So the first thing we're after is today's direct visits. Now this is just today. I want today's numbers. So this currently is the last 7 days. The comments window is covering that up, so I have to move it. So I want today's data only for this particular section. So I want this number. Troy says, flippin'. Now I got to move you out of the way because now you're covering up something else. Today, direct visits. So I need this number. Direct visits is 420. So I need 420. And I was paying attention that 111's the next number. No, it's not, because I'm in the wrong column. Referred visits, I looked at that one, and we want this one, 366. So this is the boring part. I was telling you, today's direct leads is 111. And then if you get really good, you start paying attention ahead. And so 61 was the referred leads. So I need those. I can calculate this data, so I don't need to copy it over. I can calculate this totals row with all the information that I have, so I don't need that. Now, this outgoing shares section is going to come from the sharing social metrics. I'm going to go there last because I'm already on this page. So incoming social traffic comes from the stats page, and we're talking about social traffic, so I want this segment right here. And this is today's data, and I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to get visitors, because that's this column. Then I'm going to get leads. Again, this is the boring part. No tracking ID is 184. 184. Email was 0 because we haven't had anybody. Well, I'm sorry. Now this is, see, this is the part where I messed up already. Because we don't want today. We want this to be cumulative because I want my charts to just go up and to the right. So what I want is all time, or I know we've only run this for 5 days, so I'm going to do only 7 days. Whew. Almost messed that up. But again, that's okay. So we want cumulative here, right? So email is here, which is why it's not 0, it's 6. So I got to back up here, and this number is 686. 686. And email was 6. And then 230 I saw. Oops, 230. You guys watch me if I do this wrong. 230 for Facebook. There is no LinkedIn because we're not sharing it on LinkedIn. So there's Messenger, 148. Twitter is, what did I already forgotten? 148 and 98. 148. We're not doing Pinterest. Twitter was 98, right? And then WhatsApp is down at the bottom. And don't do this, by the way. This is something that irritates the kajibers out of me. But I happened to be on Facebook and I was typing. I was in Messenger. And I was typing, showing the client that I wanted a unique code. And I had the link, and then I had track equals, and I typed UNIQ. Oh, I actually typed it wrong. I did G. And then I backed up and went QUEID. And Upfire, because Facebook pings that link to try to show you a preview, Upviral saw that and actually created these, and I'm never going to use them, but I can't get rid of them. Drives me bonkers that hit happens. So don't be typing the track equals inside Messenger, because you'll end up with a bunch of data that you're never going to use. So 51 is WhatsApp. Again, if you see anything, have any questions, let me know. I am watching the comments, at least on my Facebook lead line timeline. So now what I'm looking for is the leads. So no tracking ID is 152, email is 2. 152, tab 2, tab Facebook 25. 25, 0. Messenger was what? 28. 28. Pinterest is 0. We're not sharing there. Twitter, I think, is 0, because isn't that sad? 98 people have hit this page, and 0 have converted from Twitter. The client thought Twitter was going to be pretty good for him. So far, that's not working out. So Twitter is 0. WhatsApp is 5. Now, I still have to go back and update the outgoing shares. So I need to go to the social metrics tab. And I'm going to grab these 6 numbers right here. 199, 133, 87. 199, 133, 87. Then LinkedIn is 76, 103, 150. 76, 103, 150, right? Right. So that's all the data that I need for this page. Now, the spreadsheet is calculating the stuff for this chart, although we still need one more thing. We need 2 more things. I've yet to figure out where to put this data, so it's actually in a different sheet. There's several things that I need, but we're all right. So we need total number of visits, and this, I forgot, this is on the campaign metrics tab, and that's 3149. 3149. So like I said, my spreadsheet's still growing. Number of direct visitors. 1930. See, I knew I've changed this somewhere on one of my other spreadsheets, because I'm like, I just put that data in. 1930. 1930 and 1219. You saw me put this data in. Now, last one down here is rewards. How many people have collected that very first reward? So I go to rewards. They're at 97. 97. Now, down at the bottom is another section that I've added for fun, but this is where it gets a little more fun. If I go to leads, is anybody having fun yet? Nobody's commenting. Come on, tell me a joke or something, because I know this is really exciting. I'm going to export leads. So what I want is Upviral's data, because what I want to do is to be able to go in and look at some of what Upviral has for all of the contestants. Now, I know you people are not going to copy all of these emails. You can see them. I should be covering them up, but I'm not. I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom. and I'm going to select rows or columns B through K, because I need this data in my spreadsheet. Because what we're going to look at is things like points. We're going to look at whether they're referred or direct, which is part of where I said I could calculate this, and I am calculating it somewhere else. I haven't put it in the spreadsheet yet. The only thing I really don't have from this tab back here at the top was the total number of views. UpViral has views, unique visitors, but frankly, I don't trust that number. That's another long story. Still, no comments. Is anybody watching? Yes, there's 6 or 7 of you watching. Come on, tell me something funny. All right, so I've grabbed columns B through K from the UpViral download. And I'm going over to the spreadsheet that I'm working on. And I'm going into this entire tab here. And I'm going to go all the way to the top. And I'm going to click right here. And I'm going to do paste. And I obviously didn't copy. So what did I do wrong? I have all that. Copy. Come back over here. Oops. Playmats, that's this one. We're going to do paste. There we go. Now you'll note that in this version of the spreadsheet, the email column is white because I was trying to hide that when I was trying to show people. Still no comments. What's wrong with you people? Comment. Say something. Yeah, it's like teaching a class where you can't see people. You'll note down here it says calculating. So this could take a little bit of time. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this data and I'm going to sort it descending by points. And what I decided to do, I'm going to click here to get out, and I'm going to click here, and I'm going to go down to 12, column 12, and I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to do copy. Because what I've added to the forecast and daily actuals, UpViral data not in download, down at the bottom, is this list of the top 10 referrers. And the data, there's emails here. So what it's doing is going over to the spreadsheet when it's finished calculating, and it's going to count how many people Brandon Armstrong referred. And we can see that if you go in and look at the data. So, all right, this is obviously not sorted, right? I could go in, I could sort this by points. Sort descending. Finally, hi Lenny, thanks. He commented with some eyeballs. You're watching. Thanks for watching, Lenny. And thank you for commenting. So, Brandon's email is jazzsax, blah, blah, blah. And you can see that there's the column H that says referred by. So we can have numbers or Excel go out and find every occurrence of this and count them. So that's what's happening behind the scenes in this other spreadsheet, right? So I want to go to Playmats. So when it's done calculating and it's processing all that data, because I have a lot of calculations on here based on that data that we just pasted in. So I have an older computer and it tends to be a little slow, so a little bit of patience. But eventually you'll see that this number is going to change, I believe, unless Brandon hasn't helped us out and brought in more people. But you will see that these numbers will change, and these will be the count of people referred by the top 10 people. And so that ends up being on this campaign stats right down in here. Sorry. It's at the bottom of Oh, here it is. Highest number of referrals by one person. So we're going to see the maximum in that column. And then we're going to see the percentage of all referrals coming from the top 10 people. This came to me from a campaign that I did for Tom almost 2 years ago now. It's sad. It's probably 2 years. We ran a campaign, and just for fun, Tom said, well, how many leads did we bring in from the top 10 people that referred people? And I said, well, I've never looked at that. And so we went and looked at it. In that particular campaign, the total was 75%. The top 10 referrers brought in 75% of all the leads in the entire campaign. And so I started wanting to find that out. So when I had this opportunity to work on the spreadsheet, then I put that in. And I should have, like I said, done this calculation stuff before, because obviously, you see, it takes a little bit of time. I think that's mostly my computer, because there's only 700 and something leads, but it seems to take a while. But all sorts of things like this, the highest number of referrals comes from that other column, so that's got to be calculated. The percentage of all referrals coming from the top 10, we got to add all that stuff up. And a lot of these other numbers are calculated based on all that data that I just put in from the UpViral download. I don't know how long it's going to take. I apologize. I really should have thought about that. Next time I do this, I will download that first, so you won't have to sit through that. I will just have that part done. So when we start looking at this data, and again, right now, I don't know which pieces of this have been updated and which ones haven't, because I don't remember what yesterday's was. Well, I know this hasn't updated, because we know, bang, there it goes. Total leads just changed to 767. I also, for those of you who have seen an older version of this, I have started noting some goals and changing the colors. So if there's a goal, then it's pink by default, and if you've met the goal, then it turns green. Great question. Shamal asked, what parameters would you change to improve the campaign? That's a great question. I'm still trying to figure out. Well, first of all, you don't change the parameters. You change the way you're doing something in your particular campaign, right? I'm still trying to learn. I mean, there's so much data. Frankly, there's a lot of data here. I confess that this could be an overload for many people, which is kind of why I've been working on this daily chart section, to be able to potentially see where things are changing for either bad or good, right? If, for example, we look at this direct and referred conversion rates, and this one is cumulative in that it's taking... I got to find a better way of doing this. If you look at the UpViral stats, for example, cumulative's maybe not the right word, but this stat, 28.1%, is for all 5 days this campaign's been running. But since we're grabbing that data daily, the way I have this spreadsheet set up, I can see that the top blue one is the direct conversion rate. I can see where it dips and where it shoots up. I know yesterday he sent out an email to his list. First time he'd communicated with his list. So the conversion rate went straight up. Now you can see this is the direct and referred conversion rates, but it's the daily rate. So that's doing, it's not taking the cumulative number of all the previous days. It's just what was today's direct conversion rate. And like I said, yesterday it shot way up. But today it's dropped from 38%, 39% down to 26% or whatever those numbers are. So I can look at that and go, oh, well, our conversion rates changed. They've dropped a bit. When you're purely looking at an UpViral table like this, I mean, you can see these numbers changing over time, but these are just totals, right? These are total visitors, and the conversion rate is the difference between that, or, you're not seeing exactly what's going on. You can see something dropped, but I think that it's easier to see this than it is that chart, potentially. So I'm vocalizing these things on the fly. I appreciate you guys tuning in and asking questions. So what I'm trying to do is to find out to see visually when I add more charts, what's working and what's not working. You can look at, there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of data here, but sometimes seeing the daily changes could make a big impact in what you're doing. And so this is the part I'm really trying to flesh out, what to look at to answer your question. What parameters would I change? Well, I still have to figure out how these charts are helping me, which is kind of why I'm vocalizing this for you guys, and to find out what I would look at. I know when I'm looking at some of these things, I'm looking at, these charts are very visual. This one is showing me that we're getting a lot of direct leads, and our referred leads is not doing so well. If I look at this chart, I see that our social sharing is only 32%. 32% of the people are doing any kind of sharing. That's what I'm trying to say there. And the visits that are coming in is only 33% of all the visits. Let me jump over and show you Rachel's campaign. And this is only 2 days. But see, her charts are very different. She's getting a lot more referred than the Playmates campaign is. I'm sorry, not Playmates, it's Playmats. For gaming people. Her social sharing is, compared to some of my campaigns, is through the roof. She's almost getting 50% of her people to do social sharing. That's phenomenal. She's also getting a lot of visits. And if you go look at her statistics up here, her percentage of referred to direct is 77%. That's fantastic. You remember, Shamal, that we were doing that special calculation? I haven't quite grabbed that yet, but this one right here, a special rating, is kind of trying to emulate that. And I need to go in and check to even make sure that that's working. But that's where that stemmed from, and I just haven't brought it back over from that other spreadsheet we're working on. I like, for example, this number right here, percentage of people with only one entry. It's green because it's less than 65%. This one is something I look at a lot in my campaigns. Let's look at it on this playmat. I'm going to keep saying it wrong. This is 67%, and it's pink because it's not less than 65%. And again, this is going back to the, hey, did I click any of the buttons? Did I earn any points? And we want this number to be as low as possible, right? We want people to be sharing. And I've always thought that I might turn that around. It's kind of a negative. But basically, we're looking at how many people are doing sharing. This number down here is the exact opposite of that, right? This number is showing up here in the sharing chart. But if you look at Rachel's, she's got 53%. Lenny said, those are fantastic data. Yes. This is why I've been playing with this for a long time. And I shouldn't say playing. I've been working on developing this for a long time. Because I think the more you look at data, the more you can see trends, the more you can figure out what's working and what's not working. Especially this section of the social sharing, right? The hardest part we have, and if you saw the comments in the UpViral group today from, why can't I come up with her name? Who was talking about, well, I know my people won't share. I kind of got hard-nosed on her and I said, well, why do an UpViral campaign if you know your people aren't going to share? This is where the gold is. And if you can figure out how to keep making this sharing increase over time, you're going to get more referred leads, and you're going to get more referred conversions, and you're going to get more long-term buyers. Lenny, this sounds like an advanced topic. I'm looking ahead. Shamal says, it's amazing that you can get more data. UpViral should hire you. Will you write them and tell them that, please? I won't go editorial on you, but I have begged and pleaded, begged and pleaded for more stats, and they're not. So, which is why I did this, because I want to see more data. So this is the only way I can control things. And yes, it takes a little bit of time to go grab the data. The hardest part was showing you how to do it. I mean, I can go grab that data really quickly at this point because I've done it multiple times. More data equals better decisions equals faster growth. I love the way you put that, Shamal. Exactly right. Part of the problem I have is to be able to convert this to what a client would use, which is why I like Lenny's question. Can Excel do hover pop-ups? Like dump your recommendations on a different sheet, and when you hover for troubleshooting, the information could show up. That would be helpful. Basically, what you're talking about is creating a summary, like a management 30,000-foot view, and I like that. Maybe potentially I can get to that point. Right now, and I love that. Right now, I'm stuck in the position of I'm still trying to figure out what data works, what I need to look at, and what I need to convince the client, right? I mean, if you've worked with clients, you know that that's part of the problem. Bless his heart, my client for this campaign tried to do his first Facebook Live because he wants to do it like the Bunky guy did. And his first Facebook Live failed miserably this evening. They couldn't get the camera to work and stuff like that. So I'm begging him to bring more traffic. I mean, the problem is, I shouldn't say it's a problem. Right now, after 5 days, he has 750 leads, which is goodness. And last I looked, there wasn't that much cheating, although it's 14 now. That's not that big a deal. We're not getting a whole bunch of cheating going on. The first day, by the way, we had double opt-in turned on. If we go to the stats and look at the email metrics, you'll see that there were 63 people stuck in unconfirmed hell. So the client said, let's turn double opt-in off so that we can try to see if we get valid leads and watch the fraud detection. So far, we're not getting a massive batch of fraud, so let's just get Wilco to pay for it. Exactly. Now, Wilco, bless his heart, and I talk to them on a regular basis. They are very excited about what they're doing in UpViral land. They have gobs of programmers working, and they're redoing a lot of things. They won't tell me what they're working on, and it frustrates me because I want to know. But I also, it's not so much just that I want to know, but I know what things I want to see and what things need to be, I have some opinions, and I'm not convinced that they're working on the things that we want to see work. So I would love to, Lenny, I would love to be able to have that. Oh, I can make that grow. I'm still right now trying to figure out how to answer Shamal's question earlier about what things do you change? What things do you absolutely look at? And what things should I take off of here? Primarily, I'm looking at the sharing section and how the referrals are going. I don't particularly care about the cost per visit right now. I don't really care about the rewards. Historically, I'll look at this at the end. The social sharing percentages. I mean, this is showing me how people are actually sharing. The majority are on Facebook and Twitter. Right? You could see that number form. Outgoing visits or outgoing shares. It's 249 for Facebook, 222 for Twitter. But we had a 2% conversion rate on Twitter because we have 3 people that have come in and converted overall from Twitter. That's horrific. We should not focus on Twitter at all, but Facebook is converting at 27%. I haven't really figured out how to use some of these numbers yet. But looking at some of this data is really highlighting things like Messenger and WhatsApp. We're not using WhatsApp in this particular campaign. And then, we're on Rachel's campaign. I forgot we switched over. But Messenger is bringing in pretty darn good leads, and it's converting at 35%. So why wouldn't he put out an email, he or she, in this case she, Rachel, put out an email to their people saying, hey, I see you're doing a great job sharing on Messenger. It's really converting well. You're earning lots of good referral leads. Why not, for those, if you haven't tried it, go do it, right? Find out what's working. This data is phenomenal because we did not used to get this until UpViral turned on those tracking links. So the ability to look at this section and find out what's working and what's not working, especially considering that, I mean, you never knew. All we had was this number, these totals, and a X number of referred leads. We didn't have any data like this before. Shamal, did you analyze data for a campaign run with another tool like Viper? I have not. I've had a couple of people ask me that. I even had somebody willing to pay me for that. I have not run any official campaigns with Viper, but I also don't believe that Viper gives you the kind of detailed data. If it does, this data that's coming from UpViral gives me the points, it gives me the visitors, how many people have come in and visited on the campaign, gives me the people that are referred by, the direct versus referrals, so I can count all this stuff. It shows me the tracking codes. There's all kinds of... I don't care about the IP address, obviously, or really the sign-up date, but it's giving me data, and if I can get that data from Viper, then it's just a matter of mapping the columns to whatever. But I don't believe that you can get all this stuff from Viper. It would be less... There would be less data to look at. But at some point, I do want to do that. I know Jack would be very interested in that if he hasn't ripped it off yet. But it all depends upon whether we get enough data to come in. And maybe not all of it's necessary. Shamal says, I heard the same message last year. They were excited to have done 2019. We are now in 2020. Other tools are catching up rapidly, even adding more powerful suggest features. I keep telling them that, Shamal. I don't know if you remember, but Wilco at the beginning of 2019 did a video and he said, I confess, I was not really putting all my energy into UpViral in 2018. And he said 2019 is going to be very different. We're going to get a lot of stuff done. And he said in February that they were working on an agency version and they hope to have it ready for beta fairly soon after that. I don't remember. I was given a rough estimate. I don't remember whether they said that publicly, and I you don't want to hold them to that, but it was, I know he said publicly that he was going to release something for agency mid-year, and here we are at the end of the year, and it's nowhere to be seen that I'm aware of. Lenny says that's why they hide it. At least if they could work with you to pull the data up automatically, that's a start. Maybe a Zap if they have the API. That's the other frustration. Bradley and I talked a lot about this earlier this year. The API is designed for individuals. It's not designed to give you massive blocks of data. And so Bradley talked to them, as I recall, and their answer was, no, we're not going to do that. Which goes back to my frustration because I'm with Shamal when he said more data equals better decisions equals faster growth. I can't copy and paste that. I'll try to save that because I really like that. I'll screen grab it. That's what I'll do. Off of my comments thing. More data equals better decisions equals faster growth. I know that several of you have seen it. I haven't updated it lately, but I'll show you if you haven't seen it. I think it's this one. No, it's not that one. File open. I'll just open this one because I'm pretty sure this has data in it. This is the spreadsheet with charts that I was doing for my friends over at Fuji. And we ended up adding, I'm confused right off the bat because I haven't looked at this lately, but this is showing columns that I didn't think we were showing. I thought it was only 2. But this was kind of, Lenny, or as Troy said, a 29,500 foot view. Just giving management charts would give them an indication of what's working and what's not working, right? Charts are really good for communicating visually. And these charts were supposed to be, I mean, this is for multiple campaigns, is what I'm trying to say. It's not, you don't see the trends in a single campaign. So looking at how you grow over time, I mean, you obviously could see trends like what I was showing with referred conversions or whatever. But the second sheet was it gives you the ability to take multiple campaigns and see how you're improving over time. And they don't necessarily have to be the same product, obviously. But it would help. I mean, when I'm running this Fujifilm campaign, we're giving away the same 3 prizes. And so this would be some really great data if I could get them to do more campaigns. I'm frustrated because they say they're so busy they can't run more campaigns. But if I could get multiple campaigns out of them, then we can certainly see how things improve, because every campaign we're trying something different in terms of rewards and incentives. Lenny says, I'm pretty sure Jack can add your recommendations if you involve him. And that's Jack from Viper we're talking about there. Shamal says, what main statistics would you consider important for a campaign and make a big impact? Well, I'm really hot and heavy on looking at the referrals section, right? Which starts from sharing, but the whole focus is figuring out how referrals are improving the process, right? The more referrals we have, the better things are. If we go back to, let me go back to the forecast. Maybe this will answer your question. In this section, and I know it's really hard. I don't know if I can blow this up. Can I make this really big without messing anything up? I mean, I included this little chart. You've seen it before, but you've got the lead page, the share page, the social sharing, and the viral loop. If you look at this table for the forecast, what I did was I broke it down into direct traffic, right? That's the people that are coming in over here to your landing page. And there is a conversion rate to get to the next page, which is the share page, right? So there's X number of people that land here. How many convert and get to here? Right now in this particular campaign, we're on the Playmats campaign. That's running about 28% for the direct conversions. If I flip back over here, go to stats, campaign metrics, is 28%. Now the referred, I have down here on the bottom, the referred traffic is coming in at about 17%. So that's the people that are converting up here, right? We know what the conversion rate is, 17%. But how do you figure out what number this is going to be? Well, you have to figure out how many people are going to do this function of the social sharing, right? So that's step 2 here. From the share page to social media, how many people do that? In the Playmats campaign, this number is pretty low. I'm thinking only about 50% of the people. Now, if I go back to UpViral's social metrics, do I just simply pull this number? I don't know. I haven't quite figured out what the right number to pull in here on the forecast is. Let's suppose I use that number, 152%, right? 152. That obviously improves the referred traffic. So what's this number here? Social media, I currently have 200%. And the next page is referred traffic. So this viral loop up here is kind of a really big unknown. So let's suppose you have one person lands on the page. He converts. and he shares it one time on Facebook, how many people are going to come in from that share? Well, let's suppose he has 100 friends. We know that Facebook only shows that post to about 4% of the people. So he has 100 friends, and only 4% of the people see it. That's 4. And what if only one of them goes, oh, I give a rat's ass about that? So we lose a whole lot of people up here from a Facebook algorithm, for example. So how do you estimate that? Well, I just threw a number in there and said, we're going to basically get 2% or 200%, which is 2 people, right? I don't know if this makes sense, but that should bring in 426 potential people for every share, for all the sharing that goes on, which ends up converting to this number, 73. And therefore, how does that make this campaign viral? Which was the whole reason I created this in the first place, was trying to estimate whether or not a campaign was going viral. UpViral's estimate of that, of course, is this number right here, right? They say the closer this gets to 100%, the better off your campaign is in terms of going viral. Obviously, in this particular campaign, we're not getting the kind of referred leads that we would like to have. It's nowhere close to even 1-to-1. And so this is where I need to focus, right? I need to get more referred people coming in. We're certainly bringing in 2,000 people in the last 5 days. They're converting at 28%, but this number is where we need to make some improvements. And I'm sighing because I've read what Shamal says. And yes, this is potentially very true. What I have seen in my campaigns is that most influencers don't share on social media, but use the referral link on their blogs and email lists. So absolutely. I mean, part of the problem that I'm learning, if we go back into the campaign stats, and down here in the social media section, I'm going to blow this up. I don't know if it's really easy to see on your side, but when you start looking at let's just look at this one row, Facebook. In this campaign, and we're looking at the Playmats campaign, we had 199 outgoing shares. Shamal asks, does your spreadsheet track those? No. I don't have any way of tracking those. That's part of the problem. Now, it depends upon how you do it. If the influencer just sends it to their email lists or their blog, let me rephrase that. Yes, if they're using their referral link, of course we have them just as a regular user, right? If we give them their own entry link, this is where it gets funky. Let me go back over here to our stats. If we give them their own referral link, let's say this is one of the people that's an influencer, and we give them, I shouldn't say a referral link, but if we give them a unique tracking link, a custom tracking link, they are not tracked as an entrant. So UpViral does not count them. It counts them here, but it doesn't count them and see their referrals up here. We don't see that data. If you look at FBG, SSCS, this is always going to be 0 because UpViral's not tracking their referrals. They're only tracking them here. If they register and become a registered entrant and share their unique link, then they show up here under no tracking ID in the referred section. So if they share it out on their blog, if they share it out on their email list, all those people get lumped into this no tracking ID section, which is almost always going to be the biggest section, right? You look down here, and Messenger and Facebook and Twitter just aren't showing as much data, as much traffic. So we still have this big lump of no tracking ID info that we can't break down any further. It's good data. We're getting data. We're getting data we never had before, but we can't necessarily break that down into real data. Now, I have some other ways that I'm working on of doing that, like with Funalytics, to see where that's being shared, if I can. But, so, yes, it's being tracked. We can't, I don't have any section for these custom tracking links. I could add that, but I haven't gotten there yet. Yes, Kitty, I know you're there. She's trying to climb up. So if we go back to the spreadsheet, and I know you guys that are still here are the addicted ones to data, so thank you for sticking around. Looking at Facebook only, so this is referred viral loop traffic, right? This is the people coming through the viral loop. We shared it 200 times, basically. There's text messages coming in from my family. But notice our visits per shares, which is this column. This is the numeric, the percentage view of these two numbers. So there's 200 that went out, and we had 230 come in. Now the UpViral, the Facebook, or the Viper, the Viral, all of these people are saying, well, you do the social sharing, and you're going to go viral because, all those people are going to see your posts. Well, this kind of data is showing us that that's not necessarily happening, right? We shared that with 230 incoming visits. So there were a lot of shares, assuming, again, that these people didn't just click to get the points and never actually posted it on Facebook. But the incoming visits is only slightly more, only 15% more than the outgoing. And those people only converted at 10%. Right? They only converted 10% of those Facebook leads. Now, what I do with this piece of information is I think this is telling me that my social sharing image is not bringing in the right people. The 230 people that did come in didn't convert. It's certainly true for Twitter. We sent out 133 social shares on Twitter, only brought in 98 visits for a 73% ratio, and we got 0 leads out of that. These two things are telling me that my social sharing message is not getting the right people to come in. They're not jumping up and down going, holy crap, I gotta have that thing. If we look, let's look at Rachel's. Now we only have 2 days of Rachel's. This is not Rachel's. This is not Rachel's. Where's Rachel's? Rachel window. This was Rachel's. Campaign stats. Let me blow this up to 300%. She's getting better social sharing. But notice our Facebook is 27% conversion. Twitter sucks. We need to watch over time, but I think Twitter sucks in terms of bringing people in and converting them. I mean, in her case, she had 162 shares, or people come in, and only 3 converted. So that 73% showing that people did come in, but those people that came in did not convert. whopping 2% conversions. Again, Messenger down here is converting superbly. She needs to bring more of those people in. But you got to go send them the message. I'm sorry, I'm covering it up, aren't I? I'm covering it up. We gotta get more of these Messenger people. It is kind of surprising that this visits to shares is only 40%. So even our Messenger message, we've got 155 people that shared it, which is potentially misleading, right? Because with Messenger being a one-on-one, they only got points for it one time. Maybe they shared it a whole lot more than that, which would make this number look really bad. Because maybe I shared it with 3 people, only got points for it one time, so UpFire only tracked it once. And then incoming visits is only 62. Only 40% of those people that we talked to are coming in, and of those 40%, 35 of them per percent are converting. I always get long-winded, Shamal, when you ask these questions, but I think it's a good conversation, right? There's a chart down here, by the way, that shows this data in some kind of visual form. I don't necessarily look at that one, but it's at the bottom. I couldn't fit it in with all this other data. So, how does that help you? Does that float your boat? I have not looked at her charts yet. I mean, she's only got 2 days of data here. Don't you drink out of my cup, kitty. Notice some of these are dropping rapidly. Some of them are going up rapidly. Again, some of these things are so new, I haven't yet quite totally evaluated them. So I'm looking forward to having more data. Shamal says, less direct messaging is less spammy for most people. That is why it has got a higher CVR. Was it? No, I don't think it was you, Shamal. I think it was Javier told me that he was giving up Facebook, Twitter, or social sharing. And he was only going to do WhatsApp and Messenger on his campaigns. I need to talk to him and find out how well that's working. Because of that one-on-one, less spammy issue. I mean, you saw in the little bit of data that's there, those things are certainly converting better, direct one-on-one. And I might have to go in and I keep adding columns to this section to be able to do these charts, to see the daily trends. Again, I don't, with the UpViral charts, with this just being in tabular form, it is impossible to see any trends. You can look at this and see some trends where there's rises and dips, but you just don't get to see the real detailed trends going on. And part of the reason why I started adding all of these columns was to be able to look at these conversion numbers from social metrics and see the trend section of these things, to be able to know whether I'm increasing or decreasing. And the only way to see that is something like this visually. because you're never going to spot those trends in just that tabular up viral view. It's just impossible. That is why I am testing sharing a Facebook post through custom actions versus sharing directly on the giveaway share page. I found that interesting. I'm pausing because Jack from UpViral would tell you the same thing, I think. Gosh, I didn't realize I've been on for an hour. One of Jack's recent Facebook Lives I was watching, he talked specifically about creating custom actions exactly like that to send people to a Facebook page or a Facebook post and ask them to comment as opposed, and that post is about the contest, right? It's very similar to what people do in Facebook-only contests. They say, hey, come in and look at our Facebook contest and comment to be entered. Well, you can't do comment to be entered, right? That's against Facebook rules. But if you incentivize them from externally, like a Viper or a viral campaign, and ask them to comment, then it's not a requirement of the campaign, and therefore it's not against Facebook's rules. It's not a requirement to be entered in the contest, so it's not against Facebook rules. And therefore, you potentially can get more energy on that post and get more visibility, etc., 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 right? So yes, I think that's a very, very valid thing to be doing on a campaign, is to get people to comment and share a particular post. And we can do that through UpViral and Viper, etc. Shamal says, need to get more data in campaigns to see if it's better to make people actually like and share. Yes, exactly. Like I said, though, Jack from Viper advocates that, so I suspect he's got some experience. Oh! Sorry. I thought she knocked over my water glass, but she knocked over something else. My water glass I moved because I thought she was going to knock it over. Smart man. I've learned, haven't I? So I didn't actually get to Rachel's update, but you understand the process. You don't have to watch me do it. But I'm pretty excited about this spreadsheet. I think there's going to be lots of data, lots of valuable stuff. If anybody happens to watch this to the end, it is not available for free. It is something that has a small fee to it. It's available if you go to, I'll just show you. If we go to, I'll put it on, see, I'm already on the wrong screen. If I go here, and I go here, and I get rid of the comment. Action-packed episode, Lenny says. Thank you. I think it's action-packed. I suspect that most people are go, oh, that's boring. Thank you for sticking with me, Lenny. But if I do this, you can see, if you go to giveaway.com/resources, giveawayrocket.com/resources, you can see right here is the UpViral Advanced Stats spreadsheet. This is the place where all of my fun stuff is. Notice I have this new thing. Watch this. Are you watching? Everybody look to the screen. Find my window if you're not watching. Click the confetti button. Pop. And I can pop it multiple times. Isn't that fun? If you go to the main screen, watch this. Go home. Look at that. We got confetti on the sides. Woo! That's fun. I spent several hours on that yesterday. And if you go to other pages, they have different kinds of confetti. So hunt through the different pages and click the confetti button and you'll see lots of different variations. Isn't that fun? But anyway, if you come to the resources tab, Abby Sayers is here. Holy cannoli. Wowzers. Hi, Abby. If you Abby's an old friend of mine. Abby's a young friend of mine. Haven't talked to her in a while. Anyway, while you're on this page, poke around. Look at the demo contests. Look at the training that we have. Look at the YouTube channel. Look at the Done For You services. Look at this gray one that doesn't have an image yet. By the way, I don't have something for it. Speaking of fun, if you go to giveawayrocket.com/search, there's a new tool that I haven't really pushed yet, but there's a tool called Searchy, and I'm uploading my videos to it. And this is really freaky cool. If you have any kind of collection of videos that you share with people, you're going to freak out. So make sure you're sitting down right now. I have, I think, 10 or 15 videos uploaded. But watch this. So in this box, search box, let me make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to search for the word penguin. Now here is my Google-esque kind of results screen, right? Oh, let me get rid of this. You don't need my link anymore. Notice that there's several results here where I have said the word penguin in a video. Now, Searchy, the tool behind this, has transcribed my video, created a text version on the fly, and indexed all of the videos that I've uploaded so they're searchable. And if I click in the result, it takes me into the video. Okay. And for some reason, it's not doing anything. There it is. And I have a couple of suggestions. It takes me to the video, to the exact sentence where I said the word penguin. Are you sitting down? Are you like freaking out, wrapping your head around this? That I have my own search engine for my videos where you could come in and go, hey, I need help with metrics. What video does Mitch have that teaches me about metrics? Or custom tracking links? Or the word penguin? I said the word penguin specifically to be able to show how this tool works, right? Let's search for UpViral. There's probably more of these, because sometimes the transcribe service doesn't figure out UpViral. But I can click how to get a fire-breathing lead gen campaign for an elite service. I need to change the name, obviously. This is a video I did with Bradley. But there's the word UpViral, 22 minutes and 39 seconds in. Bang.
But one of the coolest.
There's Bradley. But one of the coolest things. He said it. You probably couldn't hear it. Abby says, that is awesome. Lenny says, is there an impact or benefit with SEO? Only if you put the transcriptions physically on your page. So I can download the transcription and put it like in a page. So I could have all of the videos on their own page, for example, with the transcription. But typically what we're trying to do is get people to just come in and search. The whole intent of this is to search. The videos and the transcriptions reside on the Searchy server. They do not reside on my site, Lenny. But you could do that, absolutely. I could create pages that aren't part of my menu structure that have all the transcriptions and increase my SEO and have that searchable in my index. Sure, I could do that. Shamal said, "This looks cool. It would be awesome to see what this effect. I'm slow down. I'll read. It would be awesome to see what does this effect make for a campaign if we add it to first-time visitors." Are you talking about Searchy, or are you talking about something else? Wouldn't necessarily be for campaigns, but it would be for somebody who has like a membership site, or somebody like UpViral, who has a whole slew of training videos that they want people to have searchable. And yes, I have shown this to them. I'm hoping they get really excited about it. It takes a few minutes for you to wrap your head around it. It may not make you fall off your seat the first time through, but when you start, I'll give you an example. The people that created this, Stu McLaren from Tribe, Are you just now getting to the confetti part, Lenny? Nah, are you just... Lenny just said the confetti, haha. He's probably poking through my website now. They implemented this on their training site for Tribe. It's called Tribe. It's about memberships. And their support emails, after they implemented it, went from something like 80 a day down to 10 to 15 a day. So they reduced their support by a massive amount of emails. And if you have a library of videos, I mean, obviously, if you could make the confetti effect, nice. Anyway, I got really sidetracked. I wasn't here to really talk about that. Searchy is really awesome. I do have... I got on a sidetrack a couple of weeks ago because I said to myself, Searchy looks cool, like Shamal said. And I ended up saying, hey, I want to be the first guy in that space. So if you go to searchypro.com, you'll find my new website about Searchy. And of course, if you buy it, then I get an affiliate commission. And it's a 30% commission, and it's monthly recurring. So I like that. Where's my sounds? Why is that not working? Oh, I need to go there and there. Stream Deck. I love Stream Deck.
Pretty good stuff?
Yeah. I don't do enough.
Danger, danger!
They're dead. Dead, dead, dead.
Searchy is awesome. So there's another Searchy demo. If you do click this, it pops out. If you click this, it pops out. Obviously, it doesn't. What did I do wrong? Totally distracted from statistics. If you have any questions, Lenny asks, right now, Lenny asks, are you paying monthly or a lifetime deal? There will not be, according to Stu, a lifetime deal. There will be annual payments. And right now, he's only doing monthly. And if you go to, let me go back. If you go to searchy.io with my link, which opened in a new window, you'll see that there is only an invite only. You can't sign up right now. They are going to be doing a promotion in December. You're asking basically how much is the cost? The last time they had it available, there were two plans. There was 5 hours of video a month, and there was 15 hours of video a month. The 5-hour plan was $67. The 15 hours was $147 a month. And I don't know if that's going to be the pricing going forwards. I got it on a founder's level, and my price is much less than that. But it's a monthly fee, and he said he was going to eventually go to annual, but he's going to start out with just monthly. It's just easier for them to get started. But right now, even, there's nothing really here to sign up for. I think they got kind of overwhelmed at the beginning. Lenny says, "Oh, wow." And I'm assuming you're saying that about the price. And I'm assuming that that's kind of a negative "oh, wow." But if you look at the cost of transcriptions, just transcriptions alone, for 15 hours, that would run you potentially, if you go to something like Revio, I think it's Revio, rev.io, however you say it. I think 15 hours would cost you something like $600. And that's just the transcription service. That doesn't give you the searchable widget, and I could plug that widget anywhere I have access. I could make it a widget on my Up Viral campaigns if I really wanted to, but that's not necessarily where it would fit for me. And unless you happen to have an Up Viral campaign for your membership site or your collection of videos, whatever collection happened to be. But I mean, if you imagine, for example, eventually people like our Board of Aldermen in our city records the monthly meetings, and they put them online, and they're 2-hour meetings, 3-hour meetings. But if they're if they're searchable, let's say, you wanted to find out what was said about some property that wants to be renovated or something. Suppose you have a podcast and you want to tell people, hey, you want to, search our entire library of podcasts. There are so many ways that you could use it if you think about it. Lenny asks, like you say, cost of 5 hours, 5 podcasts, that's all it searches, or I'm assuming I'm wrong how it works? Not sure I totally understand the question, but let's assume that you're doing a podcast and you've got 100 episodes. If each episode is an hour long, then that's 100 hours that you would need. And all of those episodes would be searchable. So you could put, if I go back to, that's in a new window. If I go back to Safari and I close this, and my little pop-out thing didn't work. So if we go back to this one, this is a searchy widget, this bit right here. This is embeddable on any website. So Lenny, if you have a podcast and your podcast.lenny.com and you add this widget, then anybody that came to your podcast site could search every one of your podcasts and search for either keywords or, if you use trigger words, like you could even start embedding in your podcast. Say, well, this section is, we're going to call this section Penguin. This is an interview of Mitch Onger, and he's going to talk about contests, but the key word for this section is penguin. And so later on, people that were listening and wanted to come back to that section could easily find it. I mean, I know I have listened to tons of podcasts, and I have said to myself, oh, I want to go back and listen to that section again. How difficult is it for you to go find that section? It's virtually impossible. First, you got to remember which episode it was. Then you got to remember that was 30-something minutes in, blah, blah, blah. But if you have the idea ahead of time to be able to put that in some kind of code word or even, just tell people to go back into your searchy and search for Mitch. Mitch has been the only guest with that name, so that will pop up and you will hear this entire segment. Because when they search for Mitch, it pops into the audio section of your podcast right to that minute, and they start listening from there. I mean, that's pretty astounding to me. So let's go back to the 100 hours, right? If you upload 15, and they're actually trying to eliminate that. They've talked about it in the last week, that they would like to be able to eliminate that 15 hours per month. So the initial load could be very difficult, or I shouldn't say difficult, but it might be costly if you needed to buy a total 100 hours if you're going to load it all at once. But if you loaded it over time, 15 hours a month, well, theoretically you need to go in and edit the transcription too to make sure that it's fairly kosher, so that'd take you time. Or have your VA or somebody run through it. Because it's not 100% accurate. I've been editing. Oh, we got way off target. Who's still here? Is anybody still here and listening to me dribble on? But it's a fantastic tool, and I'm really excited about where it's going. And I foresee a lot of people getting really excited about it as well. And that's why I created Searchy Pro. Hi. Lenny asks another very good question. The videos are actually hosted on their site. So if I play this one, and I don't believe you can hear...
things that exist in UpViral.
I don't believe you can hear them talking, right? Where's my volume? So let me finish, Lenny. It depends upon where they are. Right now, I'll take you into Searchy. It's a website, but I'm using a tool to let me create it as an app. Since you're here, you can see kind of what's going on. So on the left side's a menu. You have media, you have folders, you have widgets, you have rewards. Rewards is where I get affiliate commission. So let's suppose I create a folder. You see that this is currently set up for Facebook, right? So let me just go over here. And I'm going to upload from a podcast. Now, if I had a podcast source, I could tap on this and I can enter the URL like your RSS feed, and you click the button. I don't have one right now, and it will allow you to go grab those audios, right? We also have the ability to do that from Facebook or from Vimeo. And you can see that YouTube and Dropbox are coming soon. One of the other things that is coming soon is Amazon S3. And so if you have a library of stuff over on Vimeo or YouTube, you connect into a folder inside of Searchy and you say, I want you to go grab video 1, 2, 5, and 7. So Searchy goes and uploads those automatically from your list on that service. So it's not really a chore. It is easy. Thank you, Lenny. Lenny says that's easy. Exactly. Now, also, upload from Facebook, and I don't have it really connected properly. I've been focusing on other things, so I don't even have mine set up the way I want it yet. But if you look at this particular section, that's not where I wanted to go. I think it's this one. You see, these videos have images and icons and stuff, but down here, these are videos that I connected my Facebook page, and Searchy is listing those videos that it found, and if I wanted to have it grab that video, I just click Add to Media, and it will go grab that from Facebook and upload it to Searchy. So all I have to do is see the list of things for that service and determine which ones I want to upload. Every day or every hour, I don't remember how long it is, I've forgotten, but if you do Facebook Lives to your Facebook page or your group or whatever you have access defined, it will just start bringing those up, and you can say, that's this little icon right here. I have auto processing enabled. So if it were to find a new video, it would automatically grab it and upload it and process it. So I don't have to do anything when I connect to Facebook or a Vimeo or whatever. It's going to automatically find new contents and upload them for me. And again, that will be true for Vimeo, podcasts, Facebook, YouTube, and Dropbox, which are coming soon. And they've said they're trying to do Amazon S3 too. So if you happen to drop videos into a Dropbox folder, it will automatically upload them. If you do Facebook Lives, it will automatically grab them if that's what you want. Or it will just go out and do a search and say, this one's new, do you want to upload it? And yes, you get to keep watching the conversation of my family. So anyway, I did not intend to go down that rabbit hole. I'm sorry, I even left that covering up your face again, Lenny. Sorry. I go back over to Ecamm. Hopefully that answered your questions. I think it's an awesome tool. It is brand new. It is an awesome tool. Lenny says, do a full review on YouTube when the program reopens. Those videos get traffic. Absolutely. I am very excited about Searchy. When it opened, for example, I'll go in and I'll show you because I'm all about open. I don't know why that window doesn't. So when they did the initial launch, I got 2 other people to sign up. You see, I got 2 customers. I get a 30% commission. And so if I get 3 people, I'm going to turn my family off. I don't know what they're saying. Probably don't want the rest of the world to know. I got 2 customers on the initial launch. And so if I had gotten 3.3 customers on the initial launch, I wouldn't be paying anything for it. So I love the fact that when you get an account, you can go out and sell it and get a commission and get your own account paid for with just getting 3 people to sign up. And it's monthly recurring. And so everybody that you sign up is helping you to pay for it. And I know a lot of affiliate commission things that are 5%, 10%, 30% is awesome. So if I could get a goodly number of people signed up by creating searchypro.com, plug, then I ought to be able to get a fairly decent monthly recurring income if I can get just even a small number of people to sign up. I don't know what their new pricing is going to be either, if it's going to be higher. I'll tell you, when we signed up it was $97 a month. So that's my price. But they're not offering that anymore. Sorry. And I know he said that theoretically after the beginning of the year it's going to go up from the 150. Well, yes. Lenny says if they remove the limit, the upload limit, it's going to blow up. I think most people, Lenny, I think their theory is. Let me just go back to me. It didn't come over to my other window. No, not going to do it. The theory, I think, in their mind is that the vast majority of people will have an initial upload, like the 100 podcast episode thing. And then, on a monthly basis, they're not going to have 15 hours necessarily a month that they're going to upload. I mean, unless you're doing Facebook Lives a lot, potentially. I think their initial burden is on people just going, holy crap, I need to upload all my podcasts, build this library, and get people using it. I think that's where they're going to have... I knew you were going to do that. Show you. So, they just implemented a new editor. Lenny asks, do I find the transcriptions good? If you're still watching, bless your heart. I need to go to bed. Let's go back to Searchy, sorry. So if I go into, and like I said, I haven't uploaded a whole lot of stuff, but I uploaded this one. Let's find one that I haven't edited, right? I have not edited this one. Hey, Glenn, it's me. So here is the transcription. And this is not the editor. This is just the transcription. I'm going to click on the editor because I know it takes a few seconds to load. This is the editor. Now, there are some things that slay me. And there's supposed to be artificial intelligence that will, in time, improve things. Like, I'm trying to teach it my last name. Because if I say Onger, it never remembers what the hell I'm talking about. But that they haven't really turned on the AI yet, they say. But notice this word right here. Can you see that? Let me blow it up a little bit. I say it's time to help you get your campaign going. And for some reason, it almost always, when I say the word to, it does THIO. But they have this fun replace tool that you could say THIO, replace with to, find. Notice there's two of them, okay. I didn't say it very often in this case, but you can replace all. And theoretically, when they get the AI in place, it will remember that and always fix that for you. But they're also highlighting words that they aren't so sure that they have transcribed correctly. So I could click on this word, and it jumps to that section, and then I can listen to it and decide whether that's right or wrong. This editing tool is fairly decent. But you can see, I have not edited this one. You can see the words. Now, some of them, like here, up viral got split. At least it recognized up and viral. And I have to start speaking a little bit more slowly. Sometimes, I get a little fast. So here we are, signed up for the Socrates sock. I don't even think that's right, but let me... Oh, it is. So, I said that right? And there's a advance 5 seconds and go back. Socrates. Is that right? And I talk really fast, but you can see the words here. It's not like I've seen some transcription services that are really bad. I'm sorry, I still have that comment on there. I keep forgetting to turn that off. So you can see that it's pretty decent. Is it perfect? No. But just scrolling through this word, you know, there will be some. The key is that most of the time, I'm not going to edit this anyway. I think it's good enough that it's probably close enough that I'm not going to spend any time trying to correct every word. Because most people aren't going to use... and, by the way, Lenny, they do plan on creating this. This is if I click download, it is an SRT file. So you theoretically could re-upload the video someplace with the SRT, like to YouTube, to have it put the words on the bottom. They are planning to have that feature inside the searching tool. So that's something else. They even got wanna, whatever you want to call it. Opt-in, obviously, I'm having trouble with, but there's Socrates, incognito window. I think this one is probably pretty close. This is probably not the word bluff. Blah, 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 blah. Enter sweepstakes. Now, scroll. You can't hear, right? I said blah, 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 blah. And it came up with bluff of law. So, that one didn't work out. But that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I mean, if you read through this, it's pretty freaking close. I'm pretty impressed. They're not always perfect, but I know I was paying a VA a lot of money to do transcriptions, and I don't have to do that anymore. I know some people are talking about just uploading some stuff to be in their private folder just to have a transcription. Anyway, I've gone on long enough about this, haven't I? Have I sold you yet, Lenny? Anybody else? There's two people here. There's Lenny and who? Thank you for listening. I enjoy talking to all y'all, even though it's kind of one-sided. Lenny, thank you for tuning in. Whoever else is here, thank you for tuning in. Abby, if you're still here, thanks for tuning in. We will chat tomorrow. Shamal, if you gave up on me, I understand. We will talk again. I don't know if it's tomorrow or what, but thanks for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow or whenever. Bye! Awkward hang up.